Buenas noches from beautiful Granada. So I've managed to capture these two guys from Corvus Belli. I'm joined by Carlos and by Angel Giraldez. Guys, on the forums and around the web, we're noticing now, I want to call it like an evolution, an evolving of the Infinity Miniatures range. We're seeing the kind of the art direction changing now. Can you tell us what's going on behind the scenes in that, or am I just imagining things?
No, it's very subtle, but it's happening. I mean, recently we added and we turned our sculptures into 3D sculptures, and we have more 3D sculptures. That was 2013, last year. Okay. Fausto Gutierrez was a 3D sculptor that was already working for us, but became part of the staff. Okay. And he's a very proactive guy, he's very productive, he's very fast, and he knows lots of stuff about 3D. And also Javier Ureña, another 3D sculptor, got into become a Corvus Belli sculptor and working more with us and with Fausto also. And José Luis Roig is turning now into a 3D sculptor. The thing with this sculpture is that it's a new medium, because José Luis Roig, for example, is a traditional sculpture that is jumping now into 3D sculpting, a new medium, different styles of sculpting. So before allowing everyone to do their stuff, Carlos Torres decided to really put more effort in some particular miniatures to make those be the base for the upcoming miniatures.
Yeah.
Because
so he created almost like a definitive standard to say, these are the standards that we're going to base everything else against.
Yeah, the basic proportions of human and female anatomy and sizes for making all the sculptures respect those sizes. Okay,
yes.
That already happened with traditional sculpting, but 3D sculpting allows more control on the size, on the proportions and everything. But I'm just talking about proportion right here. Also, Carlos Torres decided to apply new ideas for designing the miniatures, because after designing all the Toja faction, he realized there was so much effort into those designs. For example, I'm thinking right now of the Gao Tarso's knee, for example, a particular miniature from the Toja range that has a very complicated knee path with shapes, rounded shapes, intersecting with each other, very difficult to draw even.
Yeah.
And when José Luis Roig, the traditional sculptor, was traditionally sculpting those miniatures, it took lot of time of him making that miniature to finally deliver a micro detail that was there, that took a lot of effort, but it really was not so obvious in the photo and in the final work. Just the painters that really spend more time with the figure realize how much work is over there. But we were thinking like, okay, the Toja must go that way, is their style. But we should not go that way with all the factions. I mean, sometimes we prefer to have bigger and more obvious details than going for a micro detail that maybe is not even seen in the photo. Okay.
Yeah.
¿Entiendes lo que estoy diciendo? Sí.
Que ese es hay que hacer las figuras más voluminosas y grandes para facilitar el pintado a las personas. Y los Tojas tienen el detalle más pequeñito y eso era muy difícil de pintar. Me resulta difícil a mí, entonces imagínate a un cliente normal.
Claro, if he's having, technical difficulties to paint the Toja properly, if he finds more time investing in the miniature, the normal people will really it will be harder for them.
Struggling, what chance do the rest of us have?
So just in a quick discussion, everybody agrees in let's go for bigger volumes. If there's a detail in the knee or in the shoulder, whatever, let's make it big and obvious and evident, not making micro details. Let's go to something more obvious that it can be seen, that defines the miniature in a more excuse my vocabulary, I have so many little words.
It's silhouette now, is it?
Sí, más volumen de hombros, pecho,
more volumes in shoulders, chest, making the figure a little bigger and more defined. Okay, have more definition in the shapes, while having bigger surface to paint and more.
Tiene más superficie para pintar y poner luces, sombras, más.
When the shapes are bigger, you have more surface to paint shadows and light and really define the parts of the miniature. So there is one miniature, Stephen Rao from Pano, is a hero from Pano. That miniature took a little longer than usual because Carlos Torres was very focused into let's make this miniature be the base for the rest of upcoming Pano miniatures of male human males, okay? And so they put a lot of extra effort into that. And also Angel, when it came the time for painting, he said, okay, this is a new way of making miniatures for us. It's very subtle, but it's a new way of making miniatures for us. It's a new art direction for sculpting, the volumes, the backpack, the head, the hands. Okay, so
sobre todo en la cara.
the face.
Los ojos son más grandes, más marcado la nariz y todo.
Yes, the nose, the eyes, they were more defined. Okay. So it's also a good time for delivering the new Pano blue, the new Panoceania blue. Let's skip the way we were doing the stuff lately, and let's try to make it better. So what will be better? Ask him. ¿Cómo hiciste el nuevo azul de Panoceanía? ¿Cómo decidiste cómo tenía que ser la forma de pintar Panoceanía a partir de entonces?
Busqué un azul más saturado, más brillante, para diferenciar el ejército por ejemplo, Panoceanía azul, Yuchin amarillo, nómadas rojos. Y entonces busqué colores más fuertes y para que resalte más el campo de batalla y diferenciar los ejércitos. Y nada, reducí la paleta de color a un solo color fuerte para diferenciar eso.
Yeah, that's true. When we were coloring the concept sketches, we have two different shades of blue. It's not an erotic book, it's a term. Two different shades of blue color for the Pano designs. But at the end, finally delivering the miniature, it wasn't, you cannot distinguish one blue from another, okay? It was
colores en una figura y era muy confuso eso.
Yeah, and it was less saturated. It was more blue going to gray. When making the new Pano blue, was more saturated, just one shade of blue, but allowing him to make more points of light and shade, defining more the shapes of the miniature.
So it wasn't just a change a change in art direction from the point of view of the sculpting. It's also been influenced by a change in direction even of the painting as well. The
designing, yes. We were experiencing a revolution because the new 3D sculpting is also very has increased the productivity very much, and we were noticing that, and we know that we are going to somewhere. We're taking Infinity to a new era. Okay. So we decided that it was the moment to try those new things and to deliver the new look of the Infinity miniatures. That it's subtle. It's not a huge jump from the current standard, but that we were very happy with. But from you can compare the Stephen Rao miniature with the Kirpal Singh miniature. Kirpal Singh was the last traditionally made Pano miniature painted with the usual old Pano blue. Stephen Rao is the new look.
Es más brillante.
Shiny, more saturated, more intense, and from that going on with the Neoterra balls, going on with the new Morats, going on with the new Sonsi, the new Tariq Mansouri, and the new motorized troops. And people is reacting to that very positively. I mean,
I've looked at both of those images, of the last traditionally sculpted one, the new 3D sculpted one, and the difference even in the painting, the painting style, and it's I don't want to say a vast improvement because it was amazing to begin with, but it's a noticeable improvement, and it really does shine. The miniature just pops out of the photograph.
Yes, and it was a bit risky. Okay, we are really happy with the things going like this until now, but maybe it's time to try something else. It's not a huge jump, it's not a huge difference, it's subtle, but we're happy with the results. And the productivity also about 3D sculpting, the speed that they are delivering these sculpts, that we are happy with the quality, because Corvus Belli won't jump into 3D sculpting if the 3D sculpts won't have quality.
Yes,
This company is where it is because of the quality of the sculpts. And so we're very happy with this new way of making stuff.
Another miniature that I feel just highlight, it's like night and day when to show the progression of Corvus Belli, is the new Cum Riders.
Yes.
When you compare the new one to the previous model, that is a vast jump. But it also, that bulking up, you can see it in that miniature. The figures, they're bulking up. In the painting style, Angel, it looks more. It's almost more gritty. You know, it's darker in its style than the previous version.
Te está hablando de cómo has pintado los nuevos motoristas Cum comparados con los antiguos.
Como los pinté, ¿no?
Sí, para él le parece más siniestro, más oscuro de alguna manera.
Bueno, el esquema es más oscuro, se eliminó los tonos. Es que antiguamente se ponía más colores a la figura para... Bueno, era el estilo viejo, entonces ahora se volvió más siniestro el esquema y se jugó más con el negro y con el verde de FicZone.
Sí.
Sí, no, dime.
The color palette was reduced because in 2006, when the other Kamen Riders were made, the color palette was more random selected. Okay, more this goes red and this goes brown and this goes because it looks cool.
Dar una sensación más mala, pues puso una paleta oscura.
Now, because these new Kamen Riders are badass and really menacing guys, and also we know where these guys are going, which sectorial army will be part of, so the color palette is aiming to certain decisions about color that were made. They will have yellow as their distinguished sectorial army logo. Color, there's also green with Panacea, with FicZone, sorry. and he played a little more with black and with shadows, and well, and also apart from that, from 2006 to 2014, Angel has developed more skills and
También quería darle el aspecto malo, pues se pintó tatuajes de calaveras, cabeza rapada.
Yeah, also in the painting, adding tattoos to the chest, which is very difficult, as Angel said before, because
But that has been made possible by this evolution of the direction of sculpting, to make bigger spaces, you know, to make larger surfaces for you to do that. And I think it's very, very clear. It's not just the painting. The painting is magnificent, but even the difference in the terms of the sculpt, you know, it's very clear. You know, the original Kamen Riders sculpt was very interesting in its time, but the new one is it's very sci-fi, but it has a realism to it. It's much more realistic in many respects, yet bigger, stronger, darker. I love it.
we're very happy with these results. Yes.
Yeah. Well, look, guys, thanks very much for that. So, if you have any questions or anything you'd like to know from the guys about the art direction or anything else on that topic, please post them in the comments below, and we'll get them over to the guys and see if we can get some answers for you. And who knows, we'll try and get maybe a live chat or something going. In the meantime, thanks for watching.